Test, test. Test, test.
Hezký příjemný večer, dámy a
Good
pánové,
evening,
diváci.
ladies and
My se
gentlemen.
vám hlásíme
We're
zpátky
here
z OKTAGONu
with
79
the
v
first
Brně z
part
první
of the
části tiskové konference.
post-tournament
Se
press
mnou tady po
conference
mé
of Octagon
pravici je
79.
Harun Kurt,
To my right,
Lion
Harun
Pitts,
Kurt, Lion Pitts,
Karol
Kutila,
Nathan Haywood
Haywood,
a Václavové
and
Klimša a
Václav
Štěpán.
Klimša and Václav
Já
Štěpán.
než předám slovo
Before
přítomným
I
novinářům,
give
tak
the floor to the
si dovolím
journalists,
za mě první otázku tady
I
na
will start
Václava.
with one question here for
Máš za
Václav.
sebou úspěšný debut v
You
Oktagonu.
had a
Našel
successful
tam velice
debut here in
rychle tu Kimuru.
Octagon,
Jak
and you
se to
found that
odehrálo,
Kimura
jaký jsou
very
tvý
quickly.
pocity,
So how did that go, and what are your feelings right now?
Ale tak Kimuru jsem tam hledal po celý
Well,
zápas.
I was looking for that
Myslím si, že to
Kimura
bylo třikrát.
the entire
A
fight, I
naštěstí
think
to
maybe
po
3
třetí
times
vyšlo.
overall,
První dva
and I was
pokusy
lucky to get it
byly
on the
hodně
third
těžký, protože
try.
tam
The
Karol
first
dobře
two
bránil,
attempts
byl
were
tam
very
hodně
difficult
silovej
because
a
Karol
myslím,
was
že tam
defending it
ukazoval
very well
ten
with a
z těch
lot of
16
strength.
profi zápasů.
He showed a lot of
Ale
experience from
v tom
his
druhém
16
kole
pro
už jsem
fights.
cítil, že tam docela
But in the
fumí a říkal
second
jsem si,
round,
tyjo,
I could feel him getting a little bit
jako ze začátku
tired,
jsem jí úplně nevěřil,
and
ale
I
jakmile
wasn't
jsem to
totally
čapnul
convinced
a
I'd
začal
get the
jsem
Kimura,
tam
but
lámat tu
once I
ruku
got hold of
a
it and
postupně
I
se začal
started
fungovat
breaking
tomu, že
that
šel na ty záda, tak si
hand,
říkám,
and he started going down, I thought, yeah, I got you.
Super, díky. A teď už
Thank you for that, and now I give the floor to the journalists. Marian, you can start. The first question is also for Václav. So what did it feel like? This year you had many cancellations of fights. So when you were walking out, were you more nervous because you had a longer break? Paradoxically, I didn't feel nervous at all. Even this afternoon, I had my mental coach at my hotel. I've been working with him for quite some time. We've been working on this for about 3 months. I was visualizing the fight, and paradoxically, I was even calmer than I thought. I want to watch it back. I want to watch the walkout back. But from my point of view, I was just going out there to enjoy it. The fans were roaring. I was expecting a lot of noise. I was expecting people to support me. You know, I saw it in the comments. I was getting so much support throughout this week. I did have it in the back of my head, maybe, you know, getting overexcited. But in the end, I just started listening to that Eminem song, and I thought, here we go. This is the new era. This is what I worked for. This is what I visualized. And I just went in there to enjoy it. It was even better than I planned. After your fight, you called out Jakub Batfalski to fight in Ostrava. Did you have this in your head even before this fight with Kutila? Well, we know that Octagon is a show. They know they want you to have plans for the future. They want the fighters to call out other fighters to know what they want. We already met with Jakub Batfalski at training, and we kind of eyed each other and thought, yeah, we will probably meet each other once. And now you announced Octagon in Ostrava. He was hyping it up, and I thought, oh, this might be a, nice fight for the young blood in Ostrava. And I thought, let's do it. And of course, they might have different plans for Ostrava, so if that doesn't happen in Ostrava, I think this will happen sometime next year, and I'm ready for it. The next question is for Václav Klimša. The choke you showed is kind of your secret weapon, and were you expecting to use it in this fight? It was the Van Flue choke. Well, I sort of expected it, sort of didn't. We knew that Jesse is very good standing up, and we knew that if I get him to the ground, I will give it a try, and it worked out like a charm. We spent, 10 extra seconds in the choke, probably, but it was fine, because fortunately it wasn't that dangerous when you fall asleep a little bit. I wasn't planning on it 100%, but when I saw the opportunity, I used it. You got your first professional win just a month ago, and you took this fight on very short notice. So were you nervous? No, I was enjoying it. We were waiting for my debut this whole year. In April, I had a cancelled fight that was postponed until the end of September for PML number 16. it worked out. My debut worked out there. Then I wanted a little break from it all. I had a break for a week, then I went for a vacation, and they then called me at vacation. My manager called me, stop eating, stop eating. I thought, what's happening? They told me, stop eating. I was like, what? They told me, you're fighting in OKTAGON in 2 weeks. I was like, really? They said, yeah, sure, get ready. And I said, well, I've been drinking for a week, and I'm vacationing right now. And they said, well, yeah, but it's going to happen. So I said, okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks in OKTAGON. So that's the story, you know, you don't turn down OKTAGON. It's the biggest promotion we have here. So you just got to accept these opportunities. You're a professional firefighter too, so how difficult is it working, serving, and cutting weight and getting ready for your fights? Well, that depends. I think it works quite fine, because usually I fight I work for a week and we are on shifts. So I have a day of my work and then 2 days at home. I help people for a day and then for 2 days I hurt people. It's a great system. It works great. And even today, I put him to sleep, but afterwards I kind of helped him. So I think it works out perfectly. It's balanced. You have helping other people, and then you have the violence. It's like 50-50. Ostrava, the Ostrava event is coming soon. It's been announced. So do you want to fight there? Yeah, definitely 100%. Fighting in front of my home crowd with OKTAGON is a huge honor. Remember, just a month ago I had my pro debut, and now I'm here in OKTAGON. That's just crazy. And I'll show you another great, entertaining show back home, and I think the fans are going to enjoy it. Another question for Vašek with your finish, because you finished the fight kind of yourself. They're saying that not only your opponent fell asleep, but also the ref fell asleep. Did you feel him kind of getting loose as he was falling asleep? Yeah, I did feel it, but I wasn't 100% sure. And then the referee, well, I think people are too hard on him in the comments, because this is a very curious type of submission attempt. You don't see it very often, and it's very difficult to recognize. And Jesse had no option to tap it out because he was kind of under me. I thought he was out, but I never stop before the ref calls it, so I just couldn't let him go. I think the refs will actually pay attention to your submission attempts in the future fights. The question for another pressure, for another Vašek, you were kind of being talked about as a new talent, so do you feel this pressure, you know, being compared to Leobrichta and stuff like that? Well, I don't see the pressure too much. It's something I've been dreaming of for such a long time. And tonight, as everything was unfolding, I thought, yeah, this is what you've been fighting for. This is what you wanted. And the pressure is only what you allow it to be. I had tremendous support. It was incredible. Before, I only fought in smaller organizations. And now I only fought basically after a year, because I've had so many cancellations. I wasn't quite sure what this is going to do to me mentally, if it's going to put me up or down. But as people were pressuring me on, I got the energy from them that I needed. And then the finish that I got, the arena was roaring, and it was only the 4th fight on the whole card, so I didn't feel much of a pressure. You were mentioning Jakub Batfalski, but do you also have any German names? Because the German scene is very big, and you could build your career on that. Honestly, I didn't really think about it too much. I didn't have a special plan, you know, defeating Karol and then challenging Batfalski. What I was focusing on was Karol Kutila. That was it. He was the biggest opponent I ever faced. He has 4 times as many fights from KSW, OKTAGON, and other organizations. So I knew I was going to face off against a strong opponent. I thought it would be disrespectful to think about a different fighter after him. I thought about Batfal, so I said that name.
Question for Nathan. An unbelievable knockout. How do you plan to celebrate it tonight in Brno?
As much as I would love to celebrate it in Brno, it's obviously a lovely city. It's the first time I've been here. It's been absolutely amazing. All the locals have been absolutely amazing. I've got a flight home at 10 to 7 or something, so as soon as this is done, mate, I'm going to have to bounce, unfortunately, go back to sunny England.
Question for Karol. They announced the Poland event for you. That's the next one for you, is it?
Mam nadzieję, że zawalczę w Polsce, bo jakby nie patrzeć, to za każdym razem przyjąłem każdą propozycję oktagonu i czuję się na siłach. Tą walkę do momentu Kimury wygrywałem moim zdaniem, więc należy mi się to. Mam nadzieję, że oktagon mnie doceni, bo nigdy nie pękałem.
Hello everyone. I would like to say in the name of Karol that in the name of Karol's name that Karol's happy to be here, and he thinks he earned his place in Octagon because he never failed. He fought 3 times for Octagon against Paulus, Rushal, and now Václav Stefan. And he didn't break, and he earned his place in Octagon, and he would like to fight in April in Poland.
Question for Liam. A bit of a niche one because you're American, but World Series Game 7 tonight. Do you follow baseball at all? Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to be honest. I don't watch baseball.
Frage an Hauenkurt. Was der einzige deutsche Kämpfer auf die Karte?
Question for Harn Kurt.
Für Deutschland, here to represent Germany.
How is it fighting here and representing Germany? I have to say that it's been a great experience fighting somewhere else than Germany. I enjoyed the atmosphere tremendously, even though I was the outsider here as far as fan support, but it made no difference. I think you could see that I enjoyed the fight and I felt great. I'd love to be able to do it again in Düsseldorf. I'd like to ask a question of Harun. Your opponent has seen some trouble. What was missing from a finish tonight? I'm not sure if I was too rushed or something, but I wasn't really going for a finish. I just wanted to win. That worked out well, so I feel good about it. I got that high kick in. I think that was something I did well, and I would have wished for a finish, but maybe next time. You're still unbeaten right now, so do you know what will happen next for you? I want to stay unbeaten.
Někdo ještě další otázku?
Any more questions?
Tak v tom případě ukončujeme.
If not, this
tuto
has been
první
the
část,
first part of the
tiskové
press
konference.
conference.
Děkujeme za vám za
Thank you
pozornost.
for coming.
A dnešek, jak se nese v duchu
And
tolika
today
překvapení,
we've had
taky
many
překvapení
surprises.
bude přítomno zde na tiskové
And of course,
konferenci,
we have
protože nyní budeme
more surprises
pokračovat
for you because we
vloženou tiskovou
will
konferencí
continue with
k
a
naší
sort of
expanzi na polský trh.
intermezzo
Jsme
focused
velice
on
brzy
our
zpátky.
expansion to Poland. Thanks, we'll be back right away.
Tak, dobré.
Oh, good. What is it? Is it evening? Good morning.
Máme tady vlastně krátkou jenom
This is just a short intermezzo. We don't want to take away from the main card,
výjimečně krátkou,
but we just decided to have a short session with Michal here and give place to any questions about our expansion to Poland.
Marian Schuster, Deník Sport, první otázka na Michala.
First question for Michal.
Anglicky, jestli možný.
Anglicky? Okay.
No, English gonna be better and I will retranslate. I will translate then from Polish.
Okay, so this cooperation, when it began to being real and when did you start to discuss it?
Oczywiście znamy się już od długiego czasu i gdzieś tam były pomiędzy jakieś rozmowy prowadzone, akurat tak się potoczyło moje życie i znalazła się przestrzeń do tego, żeby troszeczkę zacieśnić tutaj naszą tą współpracę i bardzo się cieszę z tego, że znaleźliśmy wspólną drogę do tego, żebyśmy mogli podjąć razem te wyzwania, więc bardzo się cieszę, że w takim momencie mojej kariery znalazła się tutaj dla mnie dom w postaci oktagonu i będę mógł tutaj z Unii teraz walczyć.
Tak, samozřejmě se nějakou dobu známe a mám radost z toho,
We've known each other for quite some time, and I'm glad that our journeys were able to intersect, and that I found my new home, Octagon, and I'll be fighting here now.
Do you already have an opponent or is it just being discussed?
Musimy budować napięcie, nie mogę wszystkiego zdradzić na pierwszej konferencji.
You have to build pressure. We can't tell you everything right now.
For how long do you want to stay in Octagon? Do you see it like for a couple of years and
Jak to tylko możliwe, dopóki ciało mi pozwoli.
As long as I can and as my body lets me.
Ondro, mám na tebe.
Question for you, Ondra.
Ve Štětíně.
This first tournament will take place in Szczecin. Tomáš Narku is another legend. Is that a name that would interest you? Yeah, I feel like that's a very interesting name.
Okay.
You're expanding. A lot of people were being talked about France, Spain. So why Poland? That seems like one of the tougher paths for you to take because they already have a lot of fighting organizations. So why that choice? Well, when we're entering a market, we want a country that will allow us to make it there. We need the faces and the names, and Michal represents that correct fighter. And of course, Szczecin is a big Polish city. We have respect for the city. We're not there to ruin everything. We're not there to fight with others, but we're there to bring a show that isn't already there. Like, we do something different than KSW, so we think we have something new to bring to the market. And we're seeing it as a huge opportunity for us. So we hope we'll be successful. You were just saying this, like, by the way, like, we're going to Poland. So what reactions have you received so far? Well, I think you can see that. Maybe you know what the reactions were more than me because I went to play tennis afterwards. And I won my tennis match, I just want to say that. And I, of course, made some mistakes in my game, but yeah, it's been getting great reactions, and we knew that. But of course, Michal is now what's being talked about the most, and we're glad about that. Polska, or Poland, is a much bigger market, an older market. So you'll do that one tournament next year, and then based on how that goes, you'll see if you come back? Or are you sure now that you'll be coming back the next years? We know for sure. Michal had some serious health issues. So is he going to be fighting under MMA rules, or is he gonna do different rules?
The question is that you got a lot of problem with your health, so it's gonna be MMA fight or what kind of fight we can expect?
We have to building the napięcie.
We have to building the napięcie. Děkuji.
Ještě navážu, ještě si chci zeptat, kolik turnajů
Another
plánujete
question.
letos?
How many
v roce
tournaments next
2023?
year in Poland?
Jeden určitě.
Just one for sure.
Jednego či ještě?
And possibly other ones.
You mentioned possibly other ones. There, as was mentioned before, potential expansions to France. There was rumors about Sweden. Can you tell us anything? Are there further countries that you look at for 2026, or do you not want to reveal it as of now?
Paulo?
That's but still something that we don't want to talk about, I would say, but definitely we are looking for other opportunities as well.
But we don't want to reveal it. Yeah, it's not possible, you know. It's like I understand the question, but definitely, like we will see. Like now, we are fully concentrated on Szczecin. We definitely believe that we will sell this arena out. It's around 7,000 people. 7,000 people. So we will start selling the tickets in the next 2 weeks, and announcing the fights and signings. Obviously, my telephone. Okay, my phone blew up yesterday from a lot of Polish fighters and managers, and there are a lot of offers. But yeah, it will be a lot of fun, hopefully.
Je mi jasný, že se to plánovalo díl.
I know that this has been in the works for a while, but one of the journalists asked you about this. Did you know then at Štvanice? Yeah, well, it was maybe a tenth of a percent that people were interested in knowing this. But I believe that we're going to do better than when we were trying to break through to England. We're neighbors, and we know it's not going to be easy. Again, it's not a sure thing. We're not wearing pink glasses trying to break through. We don't think people are going to sit on their asses just because we're breaking through there.
That's it? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Michal. Thank you that you came. Thank you for it.
A man forged in fire with the heart of a Celtic warrior, Christian Jungwirth.
That's it! Jungwirth does it again!
Every match is war for him, and he's always ready to give it his all. A year after the battle for the throne of the King of Germany, he is back. His opponent? Dangerous, precise and skilled. UFC veteran, Niklas Stolzer.
Oh my goodness! Stolzer with a statement finish!
While Jungwirth is an absolute powerhouse, Stolzer is cool and precise. This will be more than just a fight. This is a clash of two fighting styles. Who will win? The heart or the mind? And what's more, a hard-fought battle for the lightweight title. Mateusz Legerski versus Attila Korkmaz.
Oh, he's dropped him again!
The Slovak sensation and former Octagon champion Ronald Paradisa against the Brazilian destroyer with German roots, Joltan Lutabak. Witness it with your own eyes. Octagon 80, Mateusz Legerski versus Attila Korkmaz. November 22nd, SAP Garden Munich. Get your tickets at octagontickets.de or watch live at octagon.tv. world champions and their emotional stories. An electric atmosphere. An unforgettable experience. Octagon MMA.
So welcome on the press conference after Octagon 79 here in Brno. We saw the great fights. Just information about the injuries. 3 fighters were transported to the hospital. Kuba Dohnal, Chotinovsky and Corey Fry, but all of them are just under the doctor's care and not any serious injured. Regarding the Neruda Cup, the most points get Hot Peppers thanks to double KO. And in Fantasy League, like many of you were voting, 34% went to Jon Surdu. So congrats to all who win. Also in Fantasy League, and thanks to everyone who was part of this great tournament.
Tips for performance of the night, the only man who wants 4 fights in one night, and it's Radek Roušal. Yeah, first question.
První otázka, Marian Schuster, Andrej.
The first question is for Andrej Vagabund Kalašník. So, how are you feeling after the fight? And one more question: do you think this was stopped too soon? Well, the feelings, well, your dreams just break down, you know, when you're this close to the title in front of your home crowd. So, well, I'm just a broken down 31-year-old man right now. That's how I'm feeling. I put up a fight. I'm not ashamed of it. I would have fought the same way in Brno or anywhere else. You know, everybody thought that I would try to wrestle Surdu just like Jotko did, but I didn't get the opportunity to do that. I still took the fight. You know, I had some issues before the fight. I still took this fight, and the only opportunity was to win in a shootout. I went into it, but he was better this time. Well, if it was an early stoppage, well, I know Pablo Picante, so it was definitely an early stoppage. No, I'm just joking. I've known him for a long time, and I have complete trust in him. I think I was kind of out of it for a moment. I was asking guys what happened there, so I think it wasn't stopped too early. I was getting up very, very quickly in the fight, but you know, the referee is very experienced, and his job is to protect our health. So I think he did it correctly. I was not supposed to actually go into war. I could kind of blame it on him, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. It's not the referee's fault. It just ended the way it did. Did you have any injuries when you were preparing? You said that you did not have the option to wrestle with him. I didn't really want to talk about this too much because I hate it when fighters at press conferences just try and you know, defend themselves. We talked about this with Ondřej if we're gonna go through with this fight because I had some complications. I had to walk with crutches. I had issues with my tendons in my knee, but I don't think this had an impact on the fight. I lost. That's for sure. We also spoke a lot about the weight. When you were under him, did you feel that he was much, much heavier? Yeah, he's a great guy, a huge guy. He has like 100 kilos, right? But I took the fight, so I can't really complain about that. I think 99% of other fighters would not have accepted this, but I just had to take this. You know, if there's at least 1% chance I get the win, I will always get into that cage and try and get that win. As I said, it is what it is. What can I do? How long are you going to take a break with that knee? Do you need surgery? We're working on it. I'm not sure. I don't think I need surgery. It's just slightly bruised. but we still need to, check it out if everything's fine. But I can walk on it. There's just some pain in my knee. I think this did not impact the fight. It impacted the preparation, but not the fight itself. A question for Ondřej Novotný. Some commissions or other organizations always ask the fighters to only gain 10% of their weight between the 2 days, starting from the weigh-in. So are you thinking about putting this rule in so that the fighters actually fight in their more natural weights? No, we're not planning that. When it comes to this, you have to go with the leader, and the leader is the UFC. And until they start doing something that resembles that, that other organizations would take from them, it's not going to change. We're in the pool of the 3, maybe 5 biggest organizations in the world, and all of these organizations have the same rules, except for one. But that's a whole other story there. And I think today in MMA, not that many people care about that because one is focusing pretty much on striking or on stand-up. So it's not too much about MMA right now. And it would be kind of chaotic and it would be difficult to understand. I'm fine with changes. This is a modern sport and sports should develop. I think Andrej made a huge mistake because he doesn't have managerial experience. I thought about it, but I'm not his manager, so I'm not the one to advise him when it comes to things like this with the weight and stuff like that. I think that if he had an experienced manager, I think Surdu would have to weight 84 today at noon and not 94 that he had. And it would have been much more difficult for him. Yeah, it would have been difficult for you, my man. But of course, 3.6 kilos over the weight is just bad, it's vulgar. Just like Andrej said, it's not an insult just towards Kalashnik, but also towards the organizations. But Andrej still took the fight. So, there's nothing we can do about that, and Andrej cannot complain about what happened. It happened the way it did, and this might be just something he should think about. We, of course, thought about this limit that he should weigh maybe 84 or 88 today at noon, but he had some bad results during tests, so we maybe thought we should switch it to 84 kilos. Then we were also thinking about a different option, that this fight would not take place. I was trying to play a hero because I wanted to save this fight, because if he tried to cut back to 84, we don't know what that would do to him. It's just that I didn't want to think about, do we have the fight or not? On Friday, after the weigh-ins, what I wanted to focus on is just get the fight done. I was trying to be a hero. I can cry here at the press conference, but, we were thinking about this, the limits, but we just forgot about it. A question for Jon and for Kalashnik. Do you think that Jon's future should be in the middleweight category? We need to talk about it. Honestly, I don't remember anyone going 3.5 kilos over the limit in a title fight. I know that he was going up and down this year, but, this is something we need to talk about. It's brutal.
Yes. And I say a lot of time that I'm sorry. I didn't was because I didn't want to make weight, and it just was about my health. So if you want, guys, I can say one more time. Apologize to all of fans, all of Octagon promotions, and all Andrej. Big respect that he accept the fight. Yeah, but this is a sport. When you accept the fight, you take the risk. Doctors say that I can't do weight more. I was ready to continue till I do it, But doctor had other plans, so health is the most important.
A já bych řekl, že určitě, ale
Of course, I don't want to fight with Jon here, but of course, when you're 3.5 kilos over the limit at the weigh-ins, you must have fucked up someplace else before, right? This is not about the doctor telling you not to make more weight. Yeah, so we need to be real about this. Today we had our 1000th fight, so I have a lot of experience and I've seen thousands and thousands of fights. And, you know, we have a lot of experience, so let's not talk stories about things not fucking up on Thursday evening. It seems like it's really bothering you. Am I correct? I just want to ask, is Jon the next guy to fight for the title? We need to talk about it. It's not 100% at the moment.
Is it clear who the opponent would be right now? Somebody to face off against Jon or somebody else? Well, we're expecting Brito versus Gogolace. That's a great fight. Jon offered something to Andrej tonight. We have a lot of tournaments to go next year, so we'll see what the outcomes will be. I don't want to give the answer right now. We have Rony. He's going to be facing off against Lutherbach. And he might even get the title shots. He has a fight in 3 weeks. So we'll see. It's up in the air. It's vacant now. The title's vacant, so we'll see what the best option is. Question for Andrej and Jon. Would you like a rematch? Is that something that's going through your heads? Yeah, but not at the 93 kilo category.
Accepted. I already say that if he will want, we will do a rematch, and for sure I promise that I will do a 77.1. It doesn't matter that it will be for the title shot or not.
Děkuji. Otázka na Radka Roušela.
Question for Radek Roušel. Congratulations on the win. Do you feel ready after your 3-win streak to get to the top 10 opponent? And is there anybody you have in mind? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I really wanted Ilbai. I just beat Fry. There were a lot of challengers, potentially, but we'll see who's next. Who they give me, I'll take. Do you know when you want to come back? Tomorrow. But we'll see, my body has to heal. I'm ill now, I have to get better. I'm going to Mexico. There's a lot of things that are happening. First of all, my body comes first. I have to celebrate the win, and then I have to celebrate more, and then I'm gonna get back to the gym. Question for Tomáš Mudroch. Congratulations. Right after the fight, you challenged Ivan Buchinger. So when did you start thinking about this fight potentially, and is that something that could move you closer to the title shot? Yeah, hi, for sure. I've been thinking about this for a while. And I know that I won't be able to cut down to the 70 category forever, so I want that fight because I managed to take down Dohlan very fast, and I want that fight. And if not Ostrava, then another city. I will take a fight in between that and Ivan. Now I'm working for mental work. So just give me the date. I know a lot of people challenge him, but either I'm skipping over him or I'm taking him. We'll see. No, I don't think you'll get that fight. Because Ivan is the title challenger. Because with all due respect, the Ostrava Express is not there yet. Ivan challenged Richie Smollett. He said that he would want to fight for the title. He's now putting himself back together, and Ivan does deserve the best. The honor he deserves to respect as the legend he is. He wants to fight for the title. So now he is the #1 title challenger. Now we're having the Korkmaz-Legierski fight, and then we'll see what happens after. It depends on who wins and when we could make that happen, but we're in no rush to make it happen. I think Ostrava is the next stop for the Express, and he's gonna have to keep on building his brand and reputation. He's going to keep building his legacy because that city deserves it. And if he wants a big fight, we'll give him one. Well, I'll wait then, Ondra.
Tomáši, máš ještě taky jiné jméno?
Tomáš, is there anybody else if not Ivan? Just Ivan. But we'll see who they offer me and who I manage to beat. I'll pave my way up.
Já vím, že zápasy se nedělají
I know that there's no matchmaking here at the press conferences. Everybody knows by now. But Václav Štěpán challenged Jakub Batfalský. Is that real? Putting these two talents up against each other.
Reálný to je, tak dneska jsme
It is realistic.
zápas, který ty si neměla rád.
We did one of those tonight, one that you did not like, and I think that it did make sense because Kuba was sort of a gatekeeper and Tomáš came in as somebody who wants to get in to the scene, and he managed to score a win. But I don't think that this would be important, interesting for me as a matchmaker. Like Venca Štěpán challenging somebody who is not. Well, no, like, it's too soon for him. First of all, he's not on his level. He just fought Palokai. And so tip of the hat because he managed to turn it around, but he really came out struggling. So I don't think it's time to put these two together. Is Samuel Bark the next title challenger? Good questions from you tonight. No.
Sorry, Samuel.
Sorry, Samuel.
You are not. Yeah. But I definitely appreciate you that you want to be a title fighter, yeah, because that's something what you always have to try to be. In my eyes, you have to try to ask for the best fights and especially for title fights. So I definitely appreciate it. But we already got a title fight. We didn't announce it yet, so it's done. It's gonna be out, I believe, in 1 week.
OK, a poslední otázka jenom rychle. Vím, že předtím bylo část o Polsku.
Now quickly, I know you talked about the Poland expansion. Michal Materla. He is one of the star opponents of Carlos Vémola. So do you think he will manage to pull Carlos out of his retirement? Well, that's a question for Carlos. But it's not going to be in Štětín for sure, if it ever happens. Well, thank you. I was gonna ask about the bonus, Radek, but are you gonna spend it in Mexico? Are you gonna spend it in Mexico? Yeah, probably. We'll have some fun. You delivered one of the toughest finishes. I know that you're joyful right now, but what else are you feeling after you've delivered such a finish? Well, Ruch is flying first class, so his bonus is going to be gone very quickly. Look, it's a lot of feelings. It's great. My coach likes finishing opponents. He likes murder. But I felt sorry for my opponent afterwards because I know he's a father. He has 2 kids. I want him to be healthy. So that's what I'm feeling right now. I want him to be doing well. But I enjoyed it so much. It was a great feeling. And I really wanted to finish him when we were striking and both standing up. But I had to be present. I was waiting for him to make a mistake because I had to keep my breath level and I had to be able to go in. You have great walking, so what inspired this? Murder. Yeah, the murder that followed. I like Jason. I have a tattoo of his on my shoulder. And Vláďa tells us, as Vláďa says, when the cage door closes, you feel that smell of the upcoming fight. So that's what I wanted to do today. Today you had an important fight. Were you surprised by how resilient Dimic was, Vlado? No, it didn't really surprise me. Ruchy and I were both ill, had the same illness. Yeah, because I gave it to Radek. And we were unable to get out of bed, and I don't want to make excuses, but that was something that made it harder. Also, my friend passed away. My head was in the wrong space. I was just in a rush. I felt shit.
Já do toho dávám vždycky všechno, ale
And I always give it my all,
být mnohem lepší.
but I know it could have been better. Yeah, Dimic did not surprise me, but I should have been better. You didn't even consider canceling the fight, did you?
Hele, já se tím živím, takže
Well, this is
já se nemůžu
my
zrušit
job.
zápas. Mě bys
I can't
žena
cancel a
vyhnala
fight. My wife
běž a
would
prostě vyhraj.
run me out of the house. She'd be like, just go in and win. When you were leaving the cage, you were talking to Jirka, so what were you talking about? Well, he told me, congratulations, and I said, thanks. We know him. I mean, we know each other. We trained together when he had no pro fights and I had no pro fights. I'm not congratulating you on your performance, but what you said about Tomáš is what he followed up with, and I was like, yeah, all right.
Ještě vlastně jako na Ondru, vy jste oznámili
zápas ve speciálních škůr, jak vzniknul v těžké váze a je tam případně náhradník pro announced Vespasiani versus Škůr. So if something happens to either of them, do you have anybody to step in? We don't really. That's an interesting idea. Well,
nevzniklo to tak, že Dan vlastně chtěl za každou cenu startovat.
Dan Škor really wanted to fight in the O2 Arena, so that's how this came about. He got some offers from us, and he really talked about going to heavyweight for a long time. And I told him, I just want to give you a good opponent, and Vespasiani is surprisingly won. He accepted another fight surprisingly quickly, and he's a world-class heavyweight in my opinion, so I'm glad.
So the welterweight has no champion. Gogoladze just tweeted out that he wants to fight for 5 rounds. Is this something you're talking about, Gogoladze, Brito, Ronnie with Lutherbach, that you would have a 5-round fight and maybe crown the champion soon? You mean that this fight would become a title fight? Gogoladze asked for it to become a title fight. Well, I understand that he wants that. That's it. Today you bet on a lot of new talents, new names that haven't been as visible. So how happy are you about the results here? Because on paper this looked maybe like a weaker card, but in the end we had a finish after finish. It was a great card. Well, you know, I say this all the time, but people sometimes don't want to hear it. But I understand them. But maybe they should start believing in what I say. I'm incredibly excited. Šimon Bruckner is so talented. And, you know, the people were underestimating his opponents. Another outsider won the next fight, Vasek Klimša. He was dominant in that fight. And today I think 4 or 5 fights went against the betting odds. So a lot of the quote-unquote outsiders won. And that's the way it goes. In my eyes, this was a fantastic tournament. And what we wanted to deliver here in Brno was a card exactly like this. It was filled to the brim with talent, with new fighters, because in a couple of years, these guys will be fighting the main fights of the evenings. I have another question. Are you kind of sorry to Andrej Kalašník? Are you sorry that you didn't have any weight limit, or are you just going to say what happened, and we keep on going? No, I'm not sorry about it. What I had in my head was I was trying to save the fight. And we thought that if we set up a limit, 84 or 85, he would have to cut weight again. And it might be an issue for him medically. Of course, that would be his problem, but the result of that would be that there would be no fight. But my mission in my head was to get the fight done, to make it happen. We went into it, we risked it, the risk didn't work out in the end. But once again, if I see 1% chance of getting the title, I'm gonna go there and try and get the chance. And if we cancelled the fight, I wouldn't even have that 1%. It doesn't matter if I should have tried 84 or 86. No excuses.
Question for Samuel Bart. We mentioned there, title fight's already set. Are you going to keep yourself in shape in case of, you know, one of the guys getting injured because it's a vacant title, that you can step in there and still earn your title shot that way?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, OKTAGON, for the opportunity to fight. And I definitely would step in and take the fight. I could fight next month or this month later, like end of this month, or whenever you say, I go.
Question for Elon. I saw when you were walking out, the whole arena was booing, but you had a giant smile on your face. You were loving it. So talk to me about the role you got to play of being the bad guy.
Brother, this is what it is, when all people hate me, it's another motivation for me. I love when a lot of people say, you can do it, or, the real diamond, it's making on the pressure, so that's what I do.
Just flipping the question, Andre, despite the loss, the whole arena, the whole fight was chanting your name over and over and over. I couldn't even hear myself think, so how much did that mean to you?
It's all the world for me, like all the world. It's this is the reason why I do it. This is the reason why I love tournaments in Brno. This is the reason why I'm dighead in Brno and fighting like a stupid person every time I go to Brawl, and sometimes it's like crazy. But this is that this is when you start in the gym, when you fight in the small arenas, and afterwards you come to biggest arena in Brno, and all people cheers for you and love you. It's like, this is it. This is the reason why I do it. So for me, it's like when I will dying in the bed, when I will like old guy, in 80, 90 years old and dying, I will remember this moment. So this is why we are living for. This is all.
Question for Oyen. Your fights in Octagon have been very tough opponents and tough defeats. Do you think maybe a step back in competition would be good for you?
Pa mislim da sam ovaj meč mogao da pobedim, da mi je malo falilo. U trećoj rundi sigurno ne bi izdržao do kraja jer sam vidio da popušta. Imao sam par grešaka koje su me koštali meča. Želeo bih da čestitam mom protivniku na pobedi, da se zahvalim Andriju što mi je dao priliku i da ga zamolim da mi pruži revanš.
First of all, thank you for everyone, and especially Octagon and Andre for giving me this opportunity. Yes, I had tough opponents. I really believed I had a chance tonight to finish it off by the third round. Unfortunately, it didn't go my way because I made some really stupid mistakes I shouldn't, and I really hope to. He really wants to have a revenge if it's possible, because he believes it's possible to win.
So just relaying that onto Vlado, would you be open to a rematch?
Ale já jsem tady, i když chvilku v tom MMA, tak...
Well, I've been doing MMA for a short while, but I've been in martial arts for a long, long time, and I think I deserve fights as a reward, and you don't just give out rematches. This is up to the promoters, and for me this was enough.
Ja mislim da sam zaslužio revanš, da smo pružili rat i da treba da se ponovi.
So thanks for that. Appreciate it. I believe I do deserve a revenge because I did show actually I was a warrior in the cage, and we both fought very well.
Okay, I will decide later.
Fine.
Question for Radek. The face-off yesterday was very emotional, very heated. When you stepped into the cage, you guys were shouting at each other, talking to each other. Did you feel maybe Corey Fry was a bit emotional in the cage? That's why he tried to stand and bang with you?
Tak, emocionální. Já to mám rád.
Well, emotional. Well, I like emotions. I like a show. I like the brawl. I like to enjoy it to the fullest. But I was the stronger dog in that cage. We all wanted to put on a show, but I was the stronger dog. Woof, woof.
Otázka na promotéry. Jestli se nepletu, Vlado si řekl...
A question for the promoters. I think Vlado wanted a fight in Karlovy Vary. Is it confirmed that you will go to Karlovy Vary? Well, I didn't want to stop him when he was saying that. You don't even know that you mentioned Karlovy Vary. So why did you mention Karlovy Vary? Oh, just in case? Oh, just in case. Okay. You enjoyed it there so much. Maybe that's why. Do you want to fight sooner or in Karlovy Vary? Okay. I think that's going to be like October. Well, be better for me if that was like April. Well, Vlado is a very specific type of fella, and I like him. The last question, was this definitely the last tournament here in this arena? Or if we have the right time, could we have another tournament in this arena again? Well, that's a good question. We were going to look at the building site for the new arena, and I really need to tease this for everyone, because next year there will be the European Championships in handball, and a month before that, the arena needs to be finished. As far as I'm informed. I hope I'm not disclosing something I'm not supposed to. I hope I didn't make a mistake. I might have. Well, but it's live, so, you know, it already happened. We'll see. Yeah, that's the answer. We'll see. We would be open to it, to being in that new arena, the Rondo, as it's called. But in the old arena, and you can see that this arena is kind of old. We need to only use small screens. We have to sell very cheap tickets just for standing fans, and people are not all that happy about that. So it's very difficult to accommodate. And this is our cheapest tournament here in this old arena here in Rondo. We're trying to hold the prices relatively low. But for example, Jihlava has a new arena that is definitely worth a think. So if we don't get the new arena next time, we're kind of thinking about maybe trying out Jihlava for a year instead of Brno. But that's difficult to say right now.
Question for Vlado. We talked about Karlovy Vary, and we know that they'll happen probably on October. So what I want to know is, are there any plans, any names that you'd like to face off against? It doesn't have to be Karlovy Vary plans, just in general. Well, I wanted to show off more than I have tonight. I want to be ranked. I want to go up. This fight was successful, but like before it wasn't. We have a complicated history. I also fought Buki that I lost. I've had tough fights. And as Ondra said, I won the title. I'm gonna win it for my kids, for my supporters, for the people who make this happen for us. And I coach small kids, so that's another reason. Those are the people that keep me going. I'm gonna get ranked, and one time I will get the belt. I'll keep performing the best I can. I'll keep shooting up. I want to stay in the 70 category, and I want that belt. Another question, a more serious one. You were quite emotional after that fight because of Tomáš, who passed away recently. So did you win that for him? I wanted to play one more song, a song that we listened to together, and we experienced a lot together. But I didn't want it to get me in a bad headspace. I didn't even think at that time. I just freestyled my way through that fight, honestly.
Okay, that's it. Ještě bych chtěl říct všem fanouškům, kteří se na to budou dívat, že jsme
I just want to say to all the fans that the O2 Arena fight card is poppin'. It's so packed. It's going to be so good. So make it out to the O2 Arena in December. It's going to be crazy matchups as far as ranked fighters, the big names, and then including the newly announced fights like Škvor versus Vespasiani Stelčík will have his departing fight. And of course, we announced Liberec and Ostrava for next year. We love the Czech market and we love these fans that come out in these cities. So we're looking forward to sold out arenas and also to Poland. Thank you very much to everybody. Thank you all. You could clap. I'll just keep on talking. Good night and see you in Munich in 3 weeks.
A man forged in fire with the heart of a Celtic warrior, Christian Ljungwirth.
That's it! Ljungwirth does it again!
Every match is war for him, and he's always ready to give it his all. A year after the battle for the throne of the King of Germany, he is back. His opponent? Dangerous, precise and skilled. UFC veteran, Niklas Stolzer.
Oh my goodness! Stolzer with the statement finish!
While Ljungwirth is an absolute powerhouse, Stolzer is cool and precise. This will be more than just a fight. This is a clash of two fighting styles. Who will win? The heart or the mind? And what's more, a hard-fought battle for the lightweight title. Mateusz Legerski versus Attila Korkmaz.
Oh, he's dropped him again!
The Slovak sensation and former Octagon champion Ronald Paradisa against the Brazilian destroyer with German roots, Zoltan Luterbach. Witness it with your own eyes. Octagon 80, Mateusz Legerski versus Attila Korkmaz. November 22nd, SAP Garden Munich. Get your tickets at octagontickets.de or watch live at octagon.tv.